Hi, I'm Lawrence Woods, and after developing the curriculum for the quantum alignment technique classes and developing the devices for the therapists to use, I found that one of the devices we use in our professional practice is this red anti-inflammatory square. Now, we found that it has a profound effect on inflammation that I decided to make it available for the public use as well. You can keep this in your wallet or your purse. It's thin, it's lightweight, it's made of anodized aluminum. And in the square I have infused permanently certain patterns that connect to the quantum field for creating anti-inflammatory properties. Now, we can't make that as a medical statement, but what people report is quite astounding. We've had people that normally react to like a bee sting. They get stung by a bee and their whole body will swell up with hives and blisters and shaking and all that stuff. And we found that just placing the red square immediately after the bee sting, that we've found in some cases all it does is create the little bump where the bee had stung, but all the rest of the action was totally stopped. We have people who have typically they've smashed their finger or something, they tape that on there or hold it on there for a period of time, and it reduces the pain and swelling quite a bit. We've had one case where a lady had broken her little fingers, and so she taped it on there for a couple days. She was in a foreign country, and when she came back to the United States, she had x-rayed. She actually had broken the bones, but the bones had only in a few days, so less than a week, had mostly healed. So we found that in a lot of cases, not only does it stop the inflammation process, which can interfere with the healing, it accelerates the healing process. So that's quite amazing in its effects. Some people, they have chronic issues, long-term pain. They had a doctor who taped he had a torn meniscus in his knee. He didn't want the operation. He's been suffering it for years, so he taped it on his knee for a couple weeks. Just taking it off and replacing it's like a cotton 3M paper tape, and just taping it in place, and after a while it seemed to resolve whatever he had going on in his knee. He didn't have to use it all the time. Some people tape it on their back. Now if you have some people have reported they have these headaches, so they'll put in a headband, and like if it's more of a frontal sinus headache, they'll tape in a headband on their head like this. Or if they have the deep in the pain in the behind their eyes kind of headache, they tip it, or they put in a headband or hairband or something and hold it in place there when they sleep at night or just for a few hours during the day, and it seems to have resolved their headaches patterns that they had. So it's both a first aid device, people are using it as, and also as for chronic pain as well. You know, the one precaution I would say is that we don't want to put even if you use anti-inflammatory medication, the thing is, if you have an actual infection, you don't want to have anti-inflammatory properties. The body uses inflammation to fight infection. So if, let's say, you have an infected tooth, you wouldn't want to use this to control the pain, because then that might undo the effects of the body trying to systemically fight the infection. So that's a precaution you want to think about. But some people have stopped using just over-the-counter medications for their normal aches and pains, and they're using this instead. And so it has simplified their lives and made it easier for them to treat their aches and pains in life. That's why we made it available for you as therapists to sell these to your clients, or for anyone to purchase them and use them in their homes.